Welcome back to consecutive day 1032 of a diary of a runpreneur. Today I want to talk to you about negotiating with big corporates. So please give this a subscribe, share, like and comment, as the more people we get in front of, the more money we raise on my fundraising mission to save the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon. All the information about the challenge and how you can get involved is in the link in the comments below. Thank you as always, and let's get started. So, consecutive day 1032 of a diary of a runpreneur, and today I want to talk to you about negotiating with big corporates. And the reason for this is, I think I've spoken quite a lot over the past few weeks about these new business opportunities that we're pursuing. Well, one of them is taking on a lease, which will turn into for premises that will turn into a building, but the landlord is a massive corporate entity, and obviously there's challenges that come with dealing with a big corporate. A lot of some kind of chain of command, signing off of X, signing off of Y, and it drags on. And I come from the micro business owner world, where it's very dynamic, very fast moving. You can pivot and change, you can make decisions very quickly. None of that applies to your big corporates. And you also find the big corporates in particular can often play kind of bully boy tactics with negotiations, i.e. that they can play hardball because they're sitting on deep pockets, or they can push you and squeeze you as much as you possibly can in order to get the desired outcome for themselves. Now, the difference is, I suppose, in this occasion, that we're negotiating on a lease of a building which is particularly difficult for this corporate to lease. And we know that because we know the history of the building, we know what's kind of happened there in the past, and it puts us in a little bit of a stronger position because the corporate is fully aware of the difficulties they've got in leasing this building for various reasons. Now, I'll go through this in more detail should this negotiation come to a fruitful conclusion. It might be dead in the water. It's literally sitting on a knife's edge at the moment. But the reality is that we are in a slightly stronger position in this negotiation. We also know at this stage there are no other interested parties. We also know that every day that passes is money that is costing the corporate entity. So there's a few things that are playing into our advantage here. However, they move the goalposts a lot. They agree something, provisionally discuss something verbally with you, and then they won't follow it up putting it into writing. And then when they do put something in writing, it's on completely different terms. It's frustrating to negotiate with them, and it's almost like the whole Tesco buying department analogy. Whereas people looking to supply products into Tesco, the Tesco buyers have always been notoriously difficult to work with, and there's been examples in the past where Tesco have driven such a tight bargain with the supply chain that it's put a lot of the supply chain out of business. So they can be very greedy, they can be quite aggressive in their approach, and I wouldn't say it's got to that stage in our experience here at this moment in time, because I do think that we do have some strong cards to play. However, we've had to go back. It's been going back and forth for weeks now, and what's discussed gets notched up a little bit. They put something else into the equation to try and push you a little bit further, and we've had to literally go today, this morning, enough's enough, right? This is the maximum we can go to. There's no further wriggle room based on the investment we're going to have to put into the building, etc., etc. These are our final terms, and it would be a shame to not conclude this on over the course of something that's relatively, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a huge amount. Certainly not a huge amount to them, but to a micro business owner, it can be a massive difference. So we've had to stick to our guns here, and we've put a best and final in now offer, and we're awaiting some form of response. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest for them to be pig-headed and go no, and then we'll just have to walk away and be prepared to do that. So we'll have to wait and see. But I do think the proposition we've put in place makes financial sense to all parties. I think we've shown sufficient interest and compromise to find an amicable conclusion, but they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and at some point you have to say enough's enough, happy to do business, however this is as far as we're going to be pushed. So that's where we are today. Be interesting to see what the response comes. They're normally fairly quick at responding. For worst case it might take a week to get a response, but yeah, so we should know this week by hook or by crook whether one of the new business opportunities I'm pursuing gets the green light or the red. I don't think there's going to be any more ambers now. So that's it for me today. I think the moral of the story is stand your ground. And if you're negotiating with anybody, I'm a strong believer in win-win negotiations. But it's only win-win if both sides win. And there has to be, all the factors need to be taken into consideration, and you have to look at it and say, you know what, that you have to try and put yourself in the shoes of the other side and say, well, yeah, I think that makes sense to your side, this makes sense to ours. I think there's a sensible compromise there where we can all benefit from this, and stick to it. Because as soon as a negotiation becomes too one-sided, and it was in danger of becoming this in this scenario, then especially if you've got other business partners or stakeholders involved, then opinions, and as soon as somebody gets their feathers ruffled, emotions become involved. And we've had that with some of the partners getting quite irate with some of the terms that have been sprung on us at a late notice. But you have to try and take all emotion out of these situations and just say, let's cut the wood from the trees, and let's try and strip this back to simple terms. This is what we're offering. This will benefit you this way, this will benefit us that way. If we can compromise this, we can do a deal. But be firm in your approach that you're prepared to walk away. And that's what we've done. It could be to our benefit, or it could be at our expense, but let's see what happens. But that's it for me today. Any questions or comments, drop me a line. I'll respond to everyone. Remember to give this a subscribe, share, like and follow. As the more people we get in front of, the more money we raise on my fundraising mission to save the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon. All the information about the challenge and get involved is in the link in the comments below. Thank you as always. Stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you again tomorrow.